Failure is an interesting thing. A lot of people look at failure the wrong way. They look at failure as defeat, as opposed to looking at failure as an opportunity to learn and to improve and to take that failure and turn it into a success eventually, either through the lessons or through some application. So let's take a look at how we can change how we perceive failure. There was a book written called The Max, M-A-X Strategy by a guy by the name of Dale Dutton, D-A-U-T-E-N. Little tiny book, 116 pages, and in it he talks about a whole lot of failures that turned out to be successes. And I'm going to read from it. Coca-Cola. My favorite product development story is Coca-Cola's. It happened nearly a century ago, and before you ask, no, I wasn't around to cover the story. There was a pharmacist in Atlanta named John Pemberton who was inventing dozens of products for his clientele, remedies with names like Indian Queen hair dye, globe of flour, cough syrup, French wine cocoa, triplex liver pills. Then one day, Pemberton goes into the back room of his pharmacy and finds two of his employees, a couple of shop boys, mixing his new headache syrup with water and drinking it. And they did not have headaches. Pemberton is curious. He tries this stuff. Not bad. Might be better with club soda to give it a little fizz. So he adds club soda and decides to sell it in his shop under the name of Coca-Cola. Fast forward a few decades, a whole lot of decades, is that the first year he sold $50. In fiscal year 2018, the Coca-Cola company reported sales of $31.9 billion in sales. So think about that. You go into the back room, a couple guys are drinking your product. Many people would have said, okay, that's it, you guys are fired. As opposed to looking at it and saying, okay, let me try that, and let me see if there's something there, which he did, and the rest is history. There's an awful lot of success stories that are like that. There's an awful lot of big companies, Coca-Cola is one of them, that realize as they get bigger, employees are afraid to make mistakes. Oh, if I make mistakes, they'll think that I don't know what I'm doing and I'll get fired. And so they give awards for failures. One of the ones I remember, I think it was 3M, the Post-it notes, those yellow notes that you stick on a piece of paper and it stays stuck, was originally supposed to be a slow drying glue. Well, it's so slow drying that it never dried. And some people would have thrown that away, but they said, well, let's think about whether we can make a product out of that, which they did, and the rest, again, is history. So it's important with respect to failure and temporary defeat. Think of it as temporary defeat. Think of it as a way to learn what to do the next time. Use your board, use your professionals, use your mentors, those around you. They can minimize the amount of failures that you will have, but you will have some. That's just part of the process. As I say a lot, you'll fail your way to success. So remember that. I think one of the critical things is don't repeat the same mistake twice. It's one thing to make a mistake, but if you've taken the advice of your board, etc., and then you do the same mistake again, they are going to shake their heads and very likely say, look, this guy doesn't have the ability to learn. So learn from the mistakes, but treat them as temporary defeats, not failure. And you will fail your way to success. So just remember that. You'll make those mistakes and you'll learn from them, hopefully, and be able to move forward. Okay, so if you don't know what to do and how to do this, you are making a big mistake. And so go over to brucewhipple.com, grab the Acquisition Advantage. If you want to take the free course over there, that's Conversation Starters. That'll be helpful for you. If you want to go there directly, brucewhipple.com/free course. But remember, failure is temporary defeat, not the end result failure where it's all done. And if you approach it that way, you will learn, you will become more successful, you will understand that yes, indeed, failure is success in progress and part of the process. So, and you'll be more successful than those that don't realize that and turn away and run and quit at the first sign of temporary defeat. I hope that's helpful. I hope you put it into action. And remember to push beyond the limits, take some risk. Not everything will work out, but you will be better off usually if you follow that course than if you follow the course of one and done. I tried it, didn't work, so this isn't for me. I'm on to the next thing.